How you guys doing, man?
Good afternoon.
All good. Welcome back to another episode of the Otaku Lifestyle Podcast. We're gonna hop right into it. Now, last month we did a segment called Journey of Discovery, where Wes and I started talking about some stuff we had been getting into well after the curve. Jacob, you didn't get to be with us last time, but I hear you have something that you have just
Yeah,
started
man.
well after everybody
Thanks to
else
you
did.
two guys, the hype of Nino Kuni has taken over my life, man. Like, I'm talking about last week and a half, I have been went out, sold my video games, gotten rid of everything possible just to have a little bit of money to go and buy Nino Kuni, the first one. And then I'm like, all right, let me try and play this game out. And the story and everything about it, I'm trying to pretty much wrap it all up before March 23rd. So we're recording this on the 17th right now. And I need some help, guys. Like, it's crazy that I've been playing this game for a week and a half, and I'm talking about watching YouTube videos. I was about to start texting you guys saying, hey, I need y'all help because this game is something I've never done before. So it's kind of weird to me because, as you already know, like, selling those games, going to any of these trash game stores, I only get like $4 for these games. I had to pre-order Kuni 2, which this brother is definitely going to digitally download because I don't feel like waiting outside in the cold weather. So yeah, I've been pretty much wrapping up trying to get that game done so that when the second one comes out, I can play it day one and know exactly what's going on. So yeah.
All right, all right. Well, I gotta say that story for that game originally and the gameplay for the first
Yeah.
one were classics. So it's one of those games that I think holds up regardless of when you play it. Well, I guess you'd be telling us as somebody who's playing it for the first time in 2018, in the age of gaming being
And
what it is now.
I mean, I have to give it, like, it's
Uh,
really good. It's different. Trust me. Like, I'm used to playing all these different games. I play the fighters, shooters, and everything like that, RPGs. But this one, it threw me for a loop. The art style is completely different from what I'm used to playing, but it works. That's the crazy part. Like, I would never pick this game up if I just saw it on the shelves. I was like, oh, that's okay. It's cool, but let me keep on going to something I know. But then, like, after you guys talking about it, like, I had to pick it up and see what was such the hype about it.
okay, okay. Well, I will say this on your journey of discovery.
I'm about
How many hours
a
into the
good
game are you?
26 right now.
26 hours into. Well, it's a
I know,
JRPG, so the
I
first
know.
26 hours is the hardest.
It, the game itself will kind of grow
hmm
a little bit more on you, starting from about the 28 hour mark. I don't know exactly where you are in the story of it because some people play games faster, some people play games slower. But I'm going to say that what makes it so different, probably, what you're not used to, is the fact that the writer used to be an assistant writer for Studio Ghibli, and the animation style is cell shaded, but it is done with former lead animators from Studio Ghibli. So that's
Oh
what you're
god.
you're literally playing a Studio Ghibli title instead of watching
Yeah,
it
that
on a screen, and that's what makes it so magical and so unique to the
All right.
situation.
that
Yeah,
that makes
because it
sense.
did. It seems just like a big, big story, but like it's really nice. I think I either fight the White Witch or maybe the Guardian or something like that. I forget which one, but like everything about it, it's nice. Like I don't know. Like they're so cool, and I like the graphic designs of some of the characters, especially like fight any of the first boss where you just fight. I forget what it's called. The Shadar, or something like that. Like it, it's so cool. I really like it.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those games that's up on my game list of replayability, because you'll notice new things
True.
that you might have missed the first time you played, which is true for almost any JRPG. But this one kind of allows you the chance to make those mistakes without realizing you made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made this game really fun to me. I've played it twice through, and I would play it a third time. But I also don't think you need to play necessarily the first one for the second one. If I'm not mistaken, it takes place different time frame, different area, but nevertheless, it also lets you get used to the play style of the game. Definitely, because the play style of the game is going to be the exact, probably not the exact same, because it's been more than that. It's 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years since the first one came out. So it's going to be changed a little bit, but it was probably going to still feel very similar. So it's gonna be kind of nostalgic when you play it. Well, not for you. For me, it will be. Since you just played this one, it's going to feel very on point. But for me, who's used to playing other JRPGs now that have kind of gotten a little bit more action-oriented than this game, it's going to be kind of a jump backwards, which is going to be really nice.
Yeah. No, I'm reading up on Ni no Kuni 2 now. The second game takes place hundreds of years after Wrath of the White Witch, which I believe is the one that people most refer to as Ni no Kuni 1.
Yes.
So it looks like we're playing with Final Fantasy rules here. The games are, at best, tangentially connected to each other. So if you don't, if you can't chug through it by the 23rd, don't feel bad. Personally, there's just certain games you'll never be easy in terms of beating. Case in point, about probably 10 years ago now, I got Final Fantasy 1 for my phone. And if you've ever played Final Fantasy 1, this game is not for the casual. That game was released at a time where if you sat down to play a video game, that was your day. And they didn't make it any easier when they ported it to mobile. So I was just in like the 10th grade, spending hours trying to grind out outside of that first dungeon so I could beat the very first boss. So there are certain games that don't lose their majesty, certain things that don't lose their grip, I guess, over time, and RPGs are kind of that, like, yeah, it's just gonna be tough scenario. Now, you spoke a little bit about trading in games and whatnot to get the new one, and that actually is bringing us towards the next topic we wanted to talk about. Bro, you wanted to bring up the digital age of anime.
Yes. Back when I first started being a fan of anime, did 1995, you literally, well, that was VHS era. DVDs weren't around yet. So we'll skip forward a little bit more. So we'll go to the DVD era. The VHS era was kind of crazy. But during the DVD era, one of the best things I loved to do was to go buy the new release of a DVD for a series every month, every other month. Instead of, like, I would save whatever allowance I might have had, whatever change I might have found, or whatever for like a month and a half, 2 months. And I would go in and I would spend it $25 on 3 or 4 episodes of anime. Nowadays, that seems kind of crazy. And I'll agree with that. It kind of does, because everything's so instantly at our fingertips now. But I enjoyed those the art boxes that you used to get, because you used to get these gorgeous art boxes that might have come with an additional item, a shirt, a soundtrack. In fact, when Code Geass came out to DVD, Bandai actually released a box set that had art cells, it had 2 soundtracks, it had the first volume of the manga, it had the first volume of the DVD. This art box was like almost indestructible, and it was gorgeous. It was like a $95 art box.
Nah.
Back in the day, you'd only spend like $40 on those.
Well.
Maybe. And there'd be enough room to put all of your DVDs in. But nowadays, you know, Funimation has their own streaming. Crunchyroll, we all know them. Amazon has their own titles now, too. I don't know if you know that. And that's not necessarily their own titles. I think it's Sentai titles that they have given Amazon the proprietary rights to stream. And then a whole bunch of other services that stream anime. Netflix buys its own titles from Japan before anybody else can now, for crying out loud. But in this digital age, I'm kind of remiss because I still love owning DVDs and supporting the industry that way. But it's become a point where it's really hard, because now I would still rather spend the $20 a month on a DVD with 4 episodes as opposed to the $75 straight up for a box set. It is as bad as that sounds. I would still rather spend that, but on top of that, I would still rather spend the $6 a month to stream something.
Now, let me interject. At least as far as DVDs and such are concerned, because I'm also from the let's call it the transitional period between VHS, DVD, and digital. Yeah,
we saw it all.
Yeah, because when I first became a fan of content, cartoons, and anime and things like that, you were lucky if you could get, you know, a few things on a VHS that you had to go and rewind every time you wanted to see something. Then there was the DVD, which you didn't have to put it in the machine. You could just go, you went out. But I also venture this. We are in the digital age, and there are some parts of it that are a little lame. Like, you know, you don't get the cool art. But on the other hand, I can get like 500 movies on my computer, and my desktop is the cool art box I have to store all my movies now. And I can change the way that art box looks at a moment's notice. There's also the caveat of you buy a digital media, it will work for you every day from now until the end of time. Nobody is scratching your MP4 file. Nobody forgot to put nobody forgot to put your Netflix original back in the case. You didn't drive all the way out to Hollywood Video. Yeah, that's the real throwback right there.
Oh my God.
Dude, I miss Hollywood Video so much.
7 Deadly Sins season 1 and find out that the minimum wage employee at Netflix forgot to put it in the case.
Wow.
And now you got to drive all the way back. No. So we do lose some of the cool things to have that collector's spirit, I guess, that exists when it comes to collecting DVDs and VHSs and the cool art that comes with it. But almost everything gets a physical release if it's popular enough digitally anyway. Case in point, this is slightly out of topic. I received for my birthday last month a Blu-ray set of a show that is on Netflix. Like, I have a Netflix original show. And the Blu-ray set came in a case that is, to say the least, kind of a throwback for the show. So we still have this fun collectability thing, and now you have a special kind of collection, because now people are looking at your Blu-ray shelf in your house going, hey man, you know you can get all this online, right? but now you have a story. Now your cases have a cool thing in it. But I will say this: we have one major failing of streaming and video sharing services like Netflix and Crunchyroll and Hulu and everything like that. That the DVD and the Blu-ray have not decided to even attempt to catch up on yet, and I know Pro is gonna agree with me on this one. The special feature, right?
Oh my god!
The bonus
yes.
content. Netflix is $1 billion company, and they haven't figured out, hey man, we could just put some DVD features on the titles here digitally, and people would eat this up.
Actually, I'm going to stop you right there. There are some, if you go through Netflix and even Amazon, I think it's actually more on Amazon than Netflix, that if you go down past all of the episodes, so like you go through episodes 1 through 12, right? Down at the bottom, you might get the special that was on a DVD. So like the behind the mic with the voice actors or something. Like you might actually get those. It's really sporadic. It's not like for everything. It's not everywhere, but it's there, here and there, hidden. You have to kind of look for it. So
I actually was watching a show earlier today where they had like some features at the end of the current season of a show. But we also go into this different issue where now I gotta have internet access to watch my thing. And no lie, there have been situations from the time I was a youngin' until now where, there's no internet in the house for a day or two for whatever reason. It happens. You swear that's what you have all these DVDs and physical copies and stuff lying around for. But I honestly don't know if there are any DVD players in my house at this point. I don't. The PS4 plays Blu-rays, which means I imagine it can service a DVD relatively well. But it is not the age of the physical machine anymore. If you go to Best Buy right now and ask for a Blu-ray player, the person that is at the counter is going to think you're shopping for an elderly person. They're going to bring you to the Blu-ray section and recommend some Golden Girls box sets and copies of Magnum P.I. because they're going to assume that the only reason you have a physical media player is that you are aged and the internet scares you.
I will agree with that. So my anime collection is very small compared to what it used to be. My physical one, at least. My collection used to be 297 box sets.
Right.
Is what I actually used to own on hand.
What, are you running a warehouse?
And I did used to run a small business, but no, I've been collecting since 2002. And we had a place nearby that would do a lot of specials on anime and everything like that, so I would eat those specials up. But as time progressed, I started, and I don't share them with anybody, but I did start, getting my digital copies and everything like that, and then just getting rid of the box sets, gifting them to people, or getting rid of them, however. Because I just, after a certain point in time, they just take up way too much space. And whenever Crunchyroll started, gaining speed, I was just like, you know what? I don't need all of these box sets anymore. This anime is available on Crunchyroll. Not in English, but it's still available on Crunchyroll. And then Funimation started. And I was like, well, there's 80% of my anime available in English online. So, goodbye. For $6 a month, I have all the anime I could ever want to watch. And that's what this day and age has become to. But I really want them to start doing, and this is going to segue a little bit into our next topic, but I kind of want them to start doing for anime the same thing they do with games, and not just being through Steam or whatever that you can buy and download it. And I think you can via Amazon, you can buy and download titles. I don't think it's every title. I think it's a select few titles, because I think the other ones you have to stream through their website, even if you purchase them. But on Steam, if you go and you purchase a movie or an anime or anything on Steam, you actually download it to your computer. So I think they need to start doing that with more titles in more spots. Heck, even if Netflix wanted to sell download rights to titles, go for it. I will gladly buy and download to continue watching Seven Deadly Sins without having to log on to the app, or if for some reason I decide to cancel my subscription, I won't be able to watch it anymore. No, I will buy this digital box set off you for $20 and download it on my computer.
That is fair, and I'm gonna actually get into that real quick. We're not in just the digital age for consuming content stationarily. We're in the digital age for interactive content like games and things like that. Now, Jake, you mentioned a little earlier that you had to go and trade in a stack of games at some shifty fly-by-night establishment for like 1/50th what you paid for.
I cry every time.
It's so true.
To try and scrape together enough quarters to avoid going bankrupt buying an old game from 5 years ago. Now, I've been in this transition from the age of the PlayStation 1 all the way to the present, where every game imaginable can be played on one of 9 different systems. But we've hit this weird stride in the digital age of gaming where we, as a culture of gamers across the board, no matter what game it is you play, got sick of one kind of horrible thing and then just decided that we were okay with all other types of horrible mistreatment as long as we didn't have to deal with that one thing anymore. I'm gonna date myself again. Those of you from Gen Z are gonna think I'm rambling.
Yes.
I remember Funko Land and having to drive out and pick up used video games. You didn't even have a case on them. You don't know what the cover looks like. This title sound. This title sure does sound good. Thought you read about something good in PlayStation Magazine last month.
Man.
So you go, oh yeah, no.
Good old PlayStation Magazine.
I think I can pick this up at the Funko Land. And you traded in a stack of games for almost a reasonable price back then. And you got your disc with a tiny little crack in it from the Funko Land. And it played for 3 days. Or you went to the Hollywood or Blockbuster to rent some games, and assuming they put the disc in the case, you had a week to try to chug through whatever game you were playing. Now, if you are on Madden or 2K or FIFA or whatever Sport Ball 20 whatever annual game release that comes out, you can enjoy your game to the fullest in a week, bring it back, and be fine. If you were like me and playing RPGs at a young age, there's no godly way that 7 days was anywhere near enough time to chug through anything in elementary school. One of the first games I remember renting from a big box rental store was Kingdom Hearts. And again, 7
there's
days
no way.
Kingdom Hearts 1.
There's no way.
Back in 2004.
Yeah. I'm gonna. You know how you always talk about dating yourself? The first game I can remember ever renting from a big box store was Parasite Eve.
Okay.
Like, so you want to talk about dating yourself?
Yes. Gearing up for retirement, then, Wes. But yeah, we had this insane idea that we could go to a store, pay a subscription fee to be a member of the store, and then pay the store some more to rent titles from it, and then go home, hope that the title you paid a fee and then paid a fee again to rent worked. and then give it back 7 days later. That is buck wild to me nowadays. The concept of renting a game literally makes no sense to me. But I do still have some friends who like to have physical copies of their like console games. I had a lot of friends who refused to buy the digital version of Final Fantasy 15, or when Final Fantasy 12 came out. I had a lot of people who refused to buy the digital version of that, on PS4. Some people want the cool art that still comes on game cases, because a lot of, especially RPG game cases, will have the interchangeable cover, so you can flip the jacket inside out and have a full art cover for your game, and it actually is kind of cool to appear on your shelf. Some people want, figurines or stuff like that comes with the game. But on my end, I have a limited amount of space, and I can just delete things on my desktop or PlayStation 4 at will and just re-download them later on. So sign me up for the digital edition of just about anything.
There's certain games that you have to buy. Like, I'm knocking on wood, when it comes out this year, Kingdom Hearts, I have all the Kingdom Hearts games, all physical copies. Like, those type of games where it's my childhood, I have to buy those games. Any other games, I can do without. I get the digital.
You know what? That's respectable, but when Kingdom Hearts 3 finally comes out after the 20 years I've spent to wait for it, frankly, it just feels like a waste of time having a disc in 2018, because I'm gonna put the disc in the machine, and then Sony, knowing good and well that they waited 15 years, they took 15 years of my life to put this game in front of me, is gonna look me in the eye through my PlayStation TV screen and say, "Hello, welcome to day one of Kingdom Hearts 3. We need to update for the next hour and 45 minutes." And that's going to happen whether or not I download it, whether or not I go to the store and buy it, whether or not I patched it ahead of time. That is the main caveat, I think, of the digital age of gaming. It's everything needs to be updated. Everything has pointless DLC. And this is where I kind of feel that we have lost ourselves. Remember the PS2? Right?
It was.
I still have one in my bedroom.
At least a bad game
right.
For the PS2. You just didn't make any money. Like the game is out. We can't fix it. It's a wrap. We messed up. We goofed. We're bankrupt now. That's it. We were a good company for 25 years. We released one bad game. People rightfully complained, and that's it. Everybody go find a new job. Now, you release a bad game day one, everybody's like, well, maybe they'll get it fixed quick enough.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything. I know how you feel about Final Fantasy. I'm not going to say anything. That Royal Edition, whoever, I'll put it out there right now, whoever bought the Royal Edition for Final Fantasy, you've wasted your money, and you will probably hate yourself for the next couple years, and you will not buy any other Final Fantasy game. That's just do not get that game. Like, I'm being honest with you, like,
because I did not.
I didn't buy it myself. My friend bought it. I was like, oh word, let me go and play this game real quick. Man, when I say it is the exact copy, but there are I won't do it injustice. There's about like 7 different changes. And the crazy part is, it's not the fights that are the most great thing about it. It's the damn cutscene that I get to see. Like, just the art. It's just the art that got me for the cutscenes. That's it. I'm not going to say anything else about that.
Well, you got to realize that we're not that you're not meant to buy Final Fantasy 15 for the fighting. And the Royal Edition really wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't.
Change. It was meant to be
a
satisfying conclusion that the people who paid money for that game back in 2015 have been waiting for 3 years now. But you buying the Royal Edition of Final Fantasy 15, first of all, I hate to break it. If you bought it on the console, that was a mistake. What you're going to want to do is pick that up on your high-end gaming computer turn them hair physics all the way up to 9,000 so you can see every particle of Noctis and Gladio's hair.
Yo.
And then just stare at the screen for like a good 30, 45 minutes.
Man,
that's really
you two, stop with this trying to get people to go to the PC. Stay with the PS4, man. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Alright,
I don't even know. Other than the PS2 in my bedroom, I do not own a single console because my PC takes care of everything.
Listen, some games are for playing.
I'll give you that
for looking at. Final Fantasy 15 is one of those games. That story doesn't even make any sense. And that's saying something for a Final Fantasy game. We've played some Final Fantasy games where a dude who wasn't even really alive from a city made entirely of dreams went to the far future, which doesn't make any sense because how's it the future if he never existed? And helped a bunch of people in a barely civilized world destroy the living embodiment of sin. That's a coherent sentence. I said that in English. That plot is...
That's probably how they pitched it, too.
One of the most coherent and beloved plots in Final Fantasy. There's a game in there where a child soldier leads his band of other child soldiers to stop a villain who wants to condense all of time into 1 second. And that plot makes more sense than Final Fantasy 15's plot. So we have this. That's the main problem with the digital age of gaming we have, right? We have put no pressure on any studio to give us anything we would ever want. We just say, release whatever. If we like it enough to complain about it enough, you can patch it. You can sell us DLC. You can... You know what the problem was? There were some beloved games we had back in the day, and our thought process was, man, if only I could get like another 3 hours out of this. And that was the last time that the studios ever listened.
Well, see, what the sometimes though your DLC is worthwhile, and it's very rare. Like, nowadays, it's extremely rare that the DLC is worth a damn. But, like, games like Witcher 3...
Yeah.
Their DLC that you...
that's a whole extra game.
The White Cat is another 30 hours worth of gameplay.
Extra
like,
game and then some. Or, case in point, the opposite, where Persona 5 was a coherent and complete game, and then for their DLC, they're like, hey, if you guys want...
Right.
Some extra junk that doesn't really do anything, but you want to pay like $2 to play with the characters in Persona 1. You can do that, which I'm fine with. But
see, I thought that was kind of cool.
Final Fantasy 15, not to harp on it some more, I actually do kind of want to play the game someday. Charge people like $30 for the season pass so that they could get gameplay that was relevant to the story that they were in the middle of the game. How do you make DLC for the centerpiece of the game? You have the beginning of the game, plot, you take some of the plot out, then you give us the end of the game, and then sell us the middle piece. It'd be like if you went to a restaurant and the waiter handed you the bread and the dessert menu, and then looked at you strange when you asked to see what the entrees were. Hey, can you? I want something before this. What you mean before? I mean, I guess because Final Fantasy 15 by rights has the kind of DLC we should be looking for, right? They added a multiplayer mode to that game, and I'm like, okay, that's great, and it tells a side story, which is good, functional DLC. That's what extra content should be. Something that adds to my enjoyment of the game but doesn't take away from it if I don't buy it. Royal Edition provides an epilogue, which I'm guessing probably has the actual ending of that game because I've seen the on-disc 2015 ending of Final Fantasy 15. Whoever did that should be ashamed of themselves. Whoever did that should feel bad about themselves. And then some poor schmuck has that on a disc. staring at them in their home, reminding them of what they did every day. You walk past it on your way to work. Hey man, it's me, Final Fantasy 15. Remember all them hours you didn't enjoy? Remember how Square Enix randomly started selling cup noodles right in the middle of this? Yeah. How bad are things at Square Enix, by the way, right? That they needed to integrate the marketing for their video game with instant ramen. Like, Nomura is one of the most renowned video game creators of all time. Why is he selling ramen?
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Times are tough, man.
It reminds me of those Uber commercials where they're like, everybody needs a side hustle. At Square Enix, the side hustle is apparently working at a Japanese convenience store.
True.
All about them cup noodles, man. All about them cup noodles.
God, they're selling cup noodles.
You know, though, based off of what you're talking about, it sounds like you have your own version of a very unpopular opinion about Final Fantasy 15. It's actually probably a popular opinion based on how many people didn't like the ending of that game. But Jacob has an unpopular opinion of his own. But this one should be a little bit entertaining because I don't know too many people who might have the same unpopular opinion about One Piece.
Yeah, this is going to be around.
Hey, my name is Jacob, and I'm going to be the Pirate King. I mean, I'm going to be the Hokage. Hold up. I'm going to liberate the world. Hold up. But I'm still going to be the Pirate King. Okay. One Piece is the most messed up thing in the entire world. I love it personally as I've grown to like Zoro. That's my dog. I don't care what anybody says. But it's a show about pirates. You're a pirate. You're supposed to be badass. You're supposed to be going around looting, plundering, doing whatever. All Luffy does is liberate cities. All he does. He goes and gets Zoro out. I'm like, okay, cool. That's the first episode. That's like the first arc. Cool, whatever. He goes to Syrup Village. It's held up by a dude with big ass cat claws. He liberates it. He gets Usopp. All right, cool. You go to Arlong Park. It's held captive by Arlong. He liberates it. He goes to Alabasta. Take a guess what happens, guys. Crocodile's there. What happens? He liberates it. Hold up. It's the next arc. He goes to Drum Island. It's ruled by some fat person who just eats anybody and it turns into a weapon. What does he do? Liberates it. Hold on. He should have died when he went to go to the last part of the Grand Line. He should have died when he was on the guillotine. But no, he smiles, lightning strikes, saves him. Nobody explains why the lightning struck and hit right there on top of the guillotine and freed Luffy. But no, he goes away, he's good. No, yeah, trust me. But his dad don't control lightning. We don't know nothing about his daddy. and then Luffy goes and Luffy goes and he gets captured by Smoker. And then that's when Dragon shows up, his dad, and it's like, don't mess with my son. And then Luffy dips. Doesn't see and look around and be like, who saved me? He dips. That was a great move by him. Good job. He goes and just go through a good portion of the next arc and they're liberating everywhere. Trust me. And then my dog Ace gets captured because he's a brat and he just goes and, all right, I get captured. All right, guys. And then he's about to escape. He's going to leave. Someone mentions, you're not as great as Whitebeard. And you turn back and get killed. Come on. Ace dies. Whitebeard dies. Then Blackbeard going underneath a black sheet with Whitebeard's body and comes out with Whitebeard's powers. Yo, I don't know what happened in there, but you know what? I don't even want to go into it. No. Then, so we go, time skips. If I know you guys, me and you, Wesley, and Chris, if we've been going through some years together, I'm talking about we're on a ship. So I know you guys very well. We leave each other for 2 years. We link back up in the same place. We go through the same thing. Doflamingo's area. We liberate that place. Fishman Island, liberate that place. Now, what killed me last year and what really got me to be against this whole thing was last fall, there was an anime special One Piece. It aired for an hour. Do you realize? Let me use Chris. Let me use you as an example, man. I've known you for so long. You were the first person I met. Don't you think you at least tell me if something's wrong with you? Don't you think you at least maybe tell Wesley, hey man, somebody captured my second dad. I gotta go see him. No, he don't say it. I'm looking for you. Wesley look with me with you and be like, hey man, what's wrong with Chris? I don't know, man. I don't know. He just decided to dip. And when I find you, you kick my ass. Like, come on. And then I'm looking at you like, hello, man. You the best chef in the world, and you gonna leave me? You gonna leave me so I can't never eat again? That's what Luffy and Sanji's relationship was. Luffy ate everything Sanji wanted. Sanji, father is in trouble. And then for an anime special, we get to see Luffy get his butt whooped. Not no real fight. Not like they was going at it and we about to see some great animation. Nothing. No, it was a basic fight where Sanji was just kicking Luffy in his face 24/7. And Luffy's like, but you my homie, you my brother. Come on, what's wrong with you? And then Sanji's just like, I gotta go. Don't follow me again. What? What type of anime is that? What type of series do you've known somebody for over? It has to be like 5-7 years, something like that. But then you're still doing the same thing where you don't tell me what's going on, and then I go to help you, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, we're best buddies again because you came to save me. Because that's what happens later on in the arcs. People need to read the manga because I'm up on it. But oh man, what? Which?
Well, now hold on, now, because I agree with some of your criticisms here. It doesn't. One Piece came out in a very different,
and it saved it. It saved it. He's still going. It came when we were little, and I know for a fact watching it on Fox. What is it called? Was it 4Kids? Yes, come on. I was watching it then, and I was like, oh, okay, it's all right. And then it's grown with me. So when an anime grows, I think it should kind of change up a little bit. Don't get me wrong. The author is an amazing author. I will never say anything about that. His art style is great, and everything that he's doing with the characters development-wise is good, but all he's doing is saying, hey, here's another arc. We're going to do the same thing, just change a character. Okay, that sounds amazing. Great.
Now, hold on. Now, I will say this. There is the issue on One Piece where everybody keeps leaving the Straw Hat crew, getting into trouble. Luffy has to save them. Then they come back and he just like, yo, don't leave the crew no more. If I was Luffy, I would not put up with this foolishness from these people. Like, every time Luffy goes somewhere, he gets a bunch of competent seafaring individuals who are like, yo, I would love to sail with you. And Luffy's like, no, I understand that I could have a crew of pirates, but what I want is a 13-year-old boy sewing up wounds, a gold digger controlling what direction the ship goes in, a pirate hunter on a crew full of pirates, and an archaeologist. I don't know why,
but you need it. It showed up one time, and you're like, "Oh, hey, Robin, you're the best." Come on, like.
Zoro,
but he's a day one.
Didn't do with Luffy to begin with, but join up. Nami definitely didn't want anything to do with Luffy, and stole his ship, but then called him for help as soon as he did. Usopp and Luffy got into a fight, and then Usopp comes back as a disguise because he's like, I can't just be asking to come back like that.
Think about it.
And then beyond that, what is it? Robin leaves and is about to get executed, and then Luffy pretty much goes to government headquarters and shoots up the place to get her back. Luffy is that person
we know who does a little too much, and you're not sure whether they're trying to be real nice.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just saying, like,
look
at that. Like, it's the same thing. I get it. Luffy is, I get when the main character of any shonen anime, they're going to find a way to win. Like, but it's just like, wow. Like, it's gotten to the point where Zoro can handle his own. I don't care what anybody says. I feel, other than Mihawk, I don't think anybody can beat Zoro. People should be able to beat Luffy as badly as it happens, because this last one, if someone was to read the past 6 manga chapters, that should have been the 1 hour special. That fight should have been the 1 hour thing. And I don't care what anybody says. You have to go read it. But like, this anime is so like, I hate it, but I love it because it's just like, yo, I want to see what Luffy's going to do, and I want to see what Zoro's going to do.
Well,
uh-huh.
Well, now hold on. By that same nature, right? You look at shonen, and unfortunately, certain shonen, I'm going to say particularly the big 3, of which One Piece
Bleach
is now the only remainder. We had Naruto, we had Bleach, and we had One Piece, right? We look at Naruto. These people, the whole concept of ninja-ing in Naruto is that they're meant to be stealthy. Like, Naruto, as a show, set the narrative that ninjas are very similar to the way they are in the mythology of our world, right? Where they're stealthy assassins, get in and get out. Right? And we're going to keep that narrative. One Piece wants to set the idea that pirates are very much the way they are in our world. You know, bloodthirsty murderers, don't believe in the government, do everything their way. Okay. Now, in Naruto, and this is the similar argument you have with One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Naruto wants to be the best ninja. He wants to be the best stealthy assassin. He wants to be the greatest silent killer of all time. This doofy ass dude is running around in an orange tracksuit, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. That's not quiet. You obvious. You obvious. Then he's going to that underfunded public school in every bad neighborhood where they're like, oh, he doesn't understand how to do these basic tasks. We're not going to help him. We're just going to leave him back at grade.
It's true. That's definitely true. Like,
and I don't know if you guys have actually seen, there's one of the movies or specials that came out recently. This is a minor spoiler for, I guess, Boruto. They let Naruto become Hokage, but he never passed the exam.
Right? I was thinking the same thing. I was like, how the hell did he get there?
Imagine if you had a merit-based society, right? Instead of electing a leader, you had literally the person that the nation decided was the most qualified in terms of accomplishment become the person that ran the country. And you had somebody that dropped out of the 5th grade become your nation's leader. Now, right, Naruto wants to be the best ninja. And in the pre-time skip, the pre-Shippuden Naruto, I think that they actually do a better job of him of doing that become the best ninja narrative, right? He's training, he's learning. Naruto goes on his 2-year mission with Jiraiya to train and gather information, comes back and has actually discovered, essentially, that he was a god the entire time. Because we don't see Naruto train for more than like 1 issue at any point in the entire post-time skip manga. He comes back, gotta go save Gaara. Does that, fights literal out-and-out killers who are out to kill him. No issue. I'm gonna draw that parallel with One Piece. Luffy's out here trying to fight the government.
Mm-hmm.
The 7 warlords, the Yonko. Everyone he's taken on since the time skip has pretty much just gotten washed immediately with a couple of exceptions.
Some mad bosses that you thought their bounty is 10 times his. And he comes up to him and he washes them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's rubber, man. He's rubber. Come on, you can only do so much.
Like, no, because the entire Straw Hat crew is
ever
functionally. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't.
Chopper
you have
is
a 13-year-old
Chopper is a great deer.
Up people out here in the States. We had an issue. We had to send a teenager to jail for pretending.
He probably messed up.
Here.
Chopper, but that's because Chopper don't mess up, man. Chopper is A1 day one. He don't mess up. He don't.
Robin.
So she got intel. That's why she was able to go with Dragon and help Dragon out. When you got connects, it don't matter what you did. Come on now, you know that.
Then you go, my favorite character on all of One Piece.
Oh, Brook
is
yes,
the Afro skeleton, the Soul King, Brook himself. Right? Now, Brook is a treasure and truly needs his own series. But everything about Brook is just iconic. I don't think there's any other character in One Piece whose intro arc was as special as Brook's was when they went to I can't remember the name of the place, that massive floating island that
Thriller
was like
Park.
Evil
Thriller
theme park.
Yeah.
Yes, Thriller Park. And that whole thing.
I forget his name.
The dude that was stealing shadows.
Yeah, Moria.
Moria, yeah. And
Frankie.
Like, I mind you, I liked Frankie's arc. I like the end of Frankie's arc. Everything at the beginning and middle is more of the problems I have.
No. Express your opinion. Because you was trying to support it at first. What's wrong with One Piece?
The issue I have with Frankie's arc is that they were trying to do too much at once, which is an issue that One Piece tends to run into anytime Luffy's not liberating displaced people. Whenever he's out there trying to overthrow a government, he's at his best, and I think that's what it is. I think One Piece is about pirates, but they're like what we would call the modern day pirates, right? They're out here trying to liberate they're trying to overthrow governments, not so that they can be in charge, goes, but really just
overthrows someplace, and then leaves. I would understand if you left somebody there to be like, hey, okay, you take over. No, he overthrows it, leaves it in the people's hands. And come on now, we all know somebody else gonna step up and do the exact same thing. As long as if I see they have to go back to Fishman Island one more time, I quit the series. If they go back there and they have to fight another person, it was never meant to be.
You know good and well the One Piece is gonna be
is
gonna be at Fishman Island in the end anyway. That's where that last fight of the series is gonna come out. But right, I think that what makes One Piece enjoyable, what makes it able to be followed for it's
too many
600 and something episodes. Is that what we're at now?
Before this manga ends.
In general.
Statistically, if you started watching One Piece in '97, right when it first came out, I think when the very first chapter 1 of One Piece was sometime in the late '90s.
Yeah.
They're on
that would
they're
be
on
about
chapter
right, I think.
898 now. Somebody who started watching, who was old enough to read and comprehend One Piece back in the '90s and early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
You could have a kid reading One Piece at this point. Mind you, as a parent, it is your job to not let your kid watch the filler arcs on that end.
Yes, they're
One
over
Piece
800
is like 47% filler.
And I don't think that's with filler. That's without, probably. It's so much. Like I can't lie. It's just if they did something completely different for an arc, I would have more respect for it. But like I'm still looking at Kaido. Kaido wants to kill himself because he's immortal. Shanks is the only OG with one arm, still coming out making people look like they ain't nothing. If you're not a giant or just a boss, as in general, like either Dragon, Shanks, or Kaido, you're really not like doing anything. Like this. Go ahead.
Now here's what I will say. I think we were kind of ruined for One Piece, partially because you and I were introduced to it through 4Kids.
They did so much
and
wrong.
4Kids accidentally, broke that series. There are some points that I actually vividly remember from when I was a kid. Case in point, there's the issue, the episode where Mihawk has just fought the Straw Hats outside of Baradier.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wow, this rubber kid is pretty good. And so Mihawk takes his little rowboat. Right. He sails over to this cove where Shanks' crew is hanging out. And Mihawk's like, hey, Shanks, your boy has a bounty. And Shanks is like, oh, well, you know that means we can't let you leave.
I thought that was...
Which... And in the real cut of One Piece, Shanks throws a big party because his protege is a full-fledged pirate now. You got your first bounty. It's time to be celebrating. But they drink at the party. And in the 4Kids manifesto, you can't show any kind of alcohol, any kind of intoxication. They did this over on Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, where the adults were getting drunk off of hot sauce. But in the One Piece, they just decided it would be easier for pirates, of all people, to not engage in any kind of merrymaking at all. So it just sounds like Shanks and Mihawk are about to fight. And they don't show the resolution of that. They just pan off and never look back at what happened to Shanks and Mihawk.
I just need to see, because for the most part, a lot of these people, like the Yonkos, we get to see them fight a little bit, but we really don't get to see them fight. Like, if I got to see that Shanks versus Mihawk, I would literally say, dang, they're badass. I don't know how any of these people are going to be able to beat them. But it's more of Whitebeard. You got to see how strong he was. I mean, he got his face blown off, but in the 4Kids version, he got his mustache blown off. But I mean, there's so much where it's just like, I want to see them actually fight somebody. We have the rookies of, I think it's Kid, Luffy, Law, and like a couple others, and they're running through everybody. Kid just got beat up by Kaido. We get to see it off screen. And then Luffy's low-key going up against Big Mom. And I have to say, Big Mom is not that big of a deal, honestly. She's just there. Like, she can steal people's souls and stuff, but like, that's it. I mean, like, if she was to fight one-on-one and all her kids, like 8 of them, I don't know how you get so many kids looking like, no, I'm not going to say that, looking like Big Mom. But like, she has 15 kids. Me personally, I want to see who Big Mom's husband is. I've seen one guy, but I'm like, wow, like, you had kids with Big Mom, and you've had 15 of them. Okay, man. But there is that one kid that's raw. Like, he's fighting Luffy and honorable like crazy. I think it's Kara something. I don't know for real. But like, I want to see a legit fight. I want to see 2 Yonkos go at it, and I want to see how they really can fight. And if it ends in a tie, cool, end in a tie. But it has to be amazing, because Luffy's doing the same thing Naruto does, same thing Bleach does. He goes into a fight. You're like, oh, he's about to lose. Something stupid happens. He gets a new power up, and it's only explained by a mini flashback. And this, I'm talking about mini. oh, you're going to fight a bigger opponent. What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to blow up like a balloon and do it this way. You're going to fight someone fast. Well, I'm going to become faster. How? How did you do this? I want to see a little bit more explanation when it comes to some of these episodes.
Listen, you're not going to see Luffy entering the hyperbolic time chamber and doing shirtless sit-ups. We just going to have to accept that this man's going to enter gear 57 by the end of this manga. All right, where he becomes one with the rubber force.
How are you going to? How though? Like
it's just Luffy.
Yes.
Listen, apparently rubber makes you a demigod. All right, it's nobody else's devil fruit power is as broad as turning into rubber for whatever reason. You think the guy that could take somebody's heart out of their chest and put it on their face would be more broken than the dude who's made out of
like come on, like you can't. There's no way. Like for the Doflamingo fight where he went into that gear and became I forget what it's called, but it's like he's like the gorilla something. But like he did all that and fought somebody who had their devil fruit fully awakened. Like if they said, "Oh, this is partial of Luffy's devil awakening abilities," cool, I could be okay. But they're just saying, "No, it's a power up." Boom. All right. He whooped somebody who is like, come on, he's the underworld. They were calling him the Joker of the time. I expected more, and Luffy just washed this man with one simple power up. Come on.
Well, now hold on. We're I don't want to get too off topic. We're gonna really talk about random ridiculous power ups.
Trust me. Listen. I'm not saying that it's not okay.
Are you saying that it's not okay for Luffy
whoa,
to
don't come at my show. Don't come at my show.
Instinct?
It's going on break. Don't do that. I only got 2 episodes left.
Oh yes. You know what? It's hiatus because nothing ends in 2018. Nothing. Everything comes back. We're never gonna be done with anything. Especially
yeah. If
One
Piece, look, I give One Piece another. If it doesn't end, or if there's not another time skip in the next 2.5 years, then I don't know what they're going to do with this. Unless Luffy becomes an adult and we can see everybody go into their final roles, I don't know about this thing ending. Shut up.
One Piece Shippuden.
Man.
We need to breach that 1,000 episode mark.
And I know there's
828
so
of One Piece right now.
That's crazy.
We're getting there.
I don't know. We've all watched Bleach. We've all watched Naruto, and One Piece is the ending guy. It's like, hey, I'm here. Naruto decided to do Boruto. Bleach ended on a cliffhanger, and the guy got rushed to finish his stuff. So I don't really count Bleach as that bad. It is, but all right.
Nah, man. All right. 2025, One Piece generation.
You heard it here first.
2025.
You did, man. Creative quality, whatever it is, we live in an age where we do not let things that are profitable go.
All right.
So we're gonna be seeing One Piece till people stop buying One Piece.
That's probably never gonna happen.
When the sun goes red and envelops the earth, the most recent chapter of One Piece will have come out a week before.
Well, I mean, think about this. Like, this is that anime that if you have a friend that's like, I'm really into anime, well, I dare you to watch all 800 and something episodes of One Piece.
No.
It's never going to go anywhere because everybody that happens to sits down and at least tries to watch it.
I have too many people in my life.
It's addicting. It's addicting.
Listen, no, it's not addicting. No.
It's a hard challenge, is what the hell that is.
Methamphetamine is addicting. You are a different person when you finish every single episode of One Piece. You go in to One Piece to episode 1 in one stage, and the intervening 819 some odd episodes are like a chrysalis. And then when you're caught up on One Piece, and you're just like, oh yeah, I just watched the live episodes when they come out every week. And you mean you're actually watching One Piece weekly? Like, yeah, no, I'm all caught up. I have nothing to see in One Piece. I know everything that's going on in the story. Those people are on a different level than us. They're a stronger breed of binge watcher than the rest of us. Because you're out here, for you to be caught up on One Piece in a reasonable amount of time, you're pretty much watching one entire arc of an anime per day, which means you're essentially watching 4 to 6 months of content daily.
Nah.
You're not watching One Piece 2 or 3 episodes a day and catching up within a year. No, I've known people who, between like breaks of college, have finished the entire series of One Piece. And they're a different they're a different breed. One Piece fans have more endurance than the rest of us.
Okay, I did some quick math.
Oh.
If each episode was 24 minutes long, that's including the end and opening song, 24 minutes long, 331.2 hours to watch all of it. That's not including the movies or anything special. Now, you take that 331.2 hours and you divide that by 24, it takes 13.8 days, and that's straight watching. That's no breaks. I mean,
it's bathroom.
No bathroom, no sleep, nothing. 13.8 days to watch all of that.
Man, hold up.
During the songs.
You've never... Hold up.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not going to lie. I was one of those people where...
As long as it's mobile, I guess.
I got bet $100 to do it. So I was like, I'll watch One Piece. And I'm talking about this is after, like, I didn't watch it for so long. And I was like, okay, I'll catch up. He's like, yeah, I'll bet you 100 you can't do it in a week. I was like, bet. Man, when I start watching it, and I have to watch it pre-time skip. So I was like, all right, man, I'm talking about I watched it in the shower. I had my little sticky thing, put it up on the wall, was watching it while I showered. I was like, whoa, what? I'm doing on the bathroom, sitting down. As long as I had my phone and it was charged, I could watch it. I mean, you could do it. It's a lot of time and effort. But, like, it gets you. Like, I personally don't like it anymore. I'm just watching it because I don't like to miss, after you started something, it's like, for you to miss out on it and then people to talk about it like you haven't been watching it, that would kill me. So I have to finish it because even though I didn't like Bleach at the end, I have to finish watching it because it was part of my childhood. So this... Yeah.
Well...
Yes,
I mean, you also have to take into consideration the amount of time you've invested into it already. So why stop?
No. I get you, and I fully support it. But I'm just
different level of binge watcher.
I cannot at this stage in my life commit to One Piece. And the problem I have is I backslide, right? So if I don't watch it for, like, say a month, I've now forgotten. So now I have to go back and rewatch, which means it's going to take more time. If I want to get into One Piece now, I've seen the first maybe 150 episodes. I probably still have to start sometime, after right after they beat Arlong, in order to understand what's going on.
I mean, at that point in time, you're only down to needing to watch it for 11 days. I mean, you're doing pretty good. I mean, that's progress.
Yeah, wow, you're great.
I've managed to save 48 hours.
Maybe not even that much.
Oh man, that One Piece is something else, man. But you gotta hate to love it. So, oh man,
step above me, I tell you that much.
Do we want to talk about Comic-Con? I know we've been going on for a good minute, and that unpopular was good. I personally, you guys have been talking about Comic-Con since we started this podcast. Do you guys want to talk about it this episode, or should we wait for next episode?
I think we're gonna save some for the sequel. We're already at an hour and 10. I think it's about time for us to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Tune in next time as we continue our journey to discovery, and I hit you guys with my Full Metal Alchemist update. I should be finished with the first, I think, 30 episodes of the series by the time we record again.
There you go.
And we will be back soon. I am Chris.
And this is Jacob, a.k.a. Anime Gino.
This is Pro RPG, also Wesley.
Yep. See ya.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you.